Hi, Big E vendors, concessionaires, and ESE staff. We are thrilled the 2021 Big E is just days away. I'm Jessica Fontaine, Director of Education and Human Resources at the Eastern States Exposition, and part of my role is to help our staff and partners understand our policies and procedures as we reach opening day of the fair. Thank you to the over 600 of you that viewed our previous videos geared toward food and non-food vendors. This is the follow-up video to both of those videos, and we'll give you some extended and updated information on COVID policies and procedures. This video is also for employees and volunteers working at the Eastern States Exposition to understand our safety protocols and how to access them during the fair. So, how do you do that? I'm going to show you our website. Is one of the most important things for you to know is where to get the COVID safety information. Every vendor, concessionaire, and department produced a COVID safety plan, and those fall in line with the Big E Good, Clean, Fun information you can find on our website. This is the best place to go for up-to-date information. So let me show that to you. So here's our website, thebige.com. Log in here, scroll down to where you see health and safety for our Good, Clean, Fun campaign. This is information for our guests as well as our detailed policy, which can be accessed by clicking this link, 2021 Big E Safety Plan. This is our full document that outlines the general health and safety information, communication of information, public safety, cleaning protocols, guest experience, and so much more. Do be sure you're familiar with this, though the remainder of this video, I will be going through many of the details that are here. It's crucial that every employee knows how to access this plan and any additional plans for those businesses in which extended plans were required. The health department could ask any employee to produce this information, not just a supervisor. So while you may not have every detail memorized, and that's totally okay, it's important that every employee knows how to access it. The rest of this video will talk about the information that's accessible to the public on the website. So be sure that you're not only familiar for yourself, but in case anyone from the public asks you a question. Please note this video is being produced on September 7th, 2021, and our website should be checked regularly for updates that would supersede the information presented here. So masks. I am sure you are receiving a lot of questions about masks right now, as are we. We follow all state and local protocols, and currently there is no mask mandate. Please be prepared as this could change with little notice. Currently, we strongly encourage mask wearing inside buildings and outside where social distancing cannot be maintained. If the state or town changes their stance on this, we will communicate this information as promptly as possible, and it will appear on the website first. We do have some instances where masks are required regardless of vaccination status as directed by state mandates. Those include first aid stations, including office areas within the first aid station, and any area in which first aid is being administered, whether it's in a designated first aid location or not. All public safety and other personnel assisting with first aid and other similar emergencies must wear a mask. And lastly, and the one that could impact all of you the most, is on all of our shuttles to and from the Big E, including employee vans and other group transportation. We can't emphasize enough how important it is that you have a mask. We will have a few available in case someone does forget one, but everyone entering one of our shuttles, and especially employee vehicles, will be required to wear a mask regardless of vaccination status. So what about your health as an employee? For our vendors, you completed a food vendor safety agreement or non-food safety agreement as part of your licensing this year. That included the daily protocol all employees must follow for self-certification of their health status. Whether you're employed by a vendor, concessionaire, the Eastern States Exposition, or other entity in a role at the Big E, including volunteer roles, you must self-certify daily. We promise this is a simple process. Self-certification means that prior to coming to work, you can answer no to two of the questions that I'll share with you. If your answer to either of these two questions is unsure or yes, contact your supervisor and do not report to work. As long as you can answer no to these two questions, please report to work as planned. So question 1, have you been within 6 feet of a person with a lab confirmed case of COVID-19 for at least 5 minutes or had direct contact with their mucus or saliva in the past 14 days? Question 2, in the last 48 hours, have you had any of the following new symptoms? Fever of 100 degrees Fahrenheit or above, or possible fever symptoms like alternating chills and sweating. Cough, trouble breathing, shortness of breath, or severe wheezing. Chills or repeated shaking with chills. Muscle aches, sore throat, loss of smell or taste, or change in taste. Nausea, vomiting, or diarrhea, headache. Per our COVID plans, staff will check in with a supervisor or other designated monitor at the start of each shift to confirm they have self-screened. Supervisors or other designees will keep a log of employee screening. If you're not sure where or with whom you should check in, please contact your supervisor prior to your shift. A check sheet has been developed that either your department head will have for you, or you can pick up copies in the BLC office for vendors and concessionaires. This makes the process simple for everyone. It's just a name, a check to certify, and the date in which you're doing so. A supervisor can either check in with people, or there can be a location for people to log their self-certification as designated by the supervisor. So what if you or an employee becomes sick while you're here at work? If you've been vaccinated or not, either way, please notify your supervisor and get tested. Information for employees and vendors regarding off-site testing will be available on the Good Clean Fun section of our website. If you're vaccinated, we ask that you leave for 48 hours to ensure symptoms have improved. If you're not vaccinated, you must follow protocols set by the state of Massachusetts, which include that after 5 days of onset of symptoms or close contact with someone testing positive for COVID, you can be tested. If you test negative and remain symptom-free or have no symptoms, you can return to work on day 8. If you do not get tested, you may return to work on day 11 as long as you have no symptoms. If you're not vaccinated and would like to be, we will have on-site vaccinations multiple days throughout the fair, as well as the day prior to the fair, specifically for our vendors, employees, concessionaires, and other similar parties. Cleaning is also a really important part of what we'll need to do this year. We have strict cleaning protocols on a regular basis, so we're already well versed in how to manage this. But with COVID, there's some additional things that we'll make sure that we do to continue to ensure health and safety. It's important not only for employee safety, but also visitor safety that workstations, particularly public-facing areas like point of purchase areas and patron use areas, are cleaned at regular and scheduled intervals. Think about your high-touch surfaces and make a plan for cleaning every hour. Sneeze guards and other protective barriers are recommended, but not required. Hand sanitizer must be available at every transaction location. If you have multiple transaction locations in one area, as long as something is accessible to all visitors in that space, that works fine. If someone comes to your location and is ill, let them know that our protocol is that they leave immediately with everyone in their party. There will be signs throughout the property to indicate this protocol as well. If you're able, let them know that they can visit mass.gov/COVID for next steps they should take. Lastly, I just want to emphasize that, as I mentioned in the beginning, it's crucial that all employees are familiar with these protocols and have received training on what to do should they be asked for their COVID plans. Please be sure that if you are a business owner, manager, or department head, that you review with your staff where to find this information and who the point person is within your business or department if someone needs to answer in detail questions related to your COVID plans. Training looks like sharing this information with people, so you don't necessarily have to schedule something new or different, but you do have to ensure that everyone receives this information. If you're an employee watching this video and your supervisor has not reviewed this information with you, Please be on the lookout for contact from them, or please ask them where to find it, as you could be called upon to access this information. Thanks so much for taking the time to review this information. Everyone's effort contributes to the success of the 2021 Big E, and we are so glad Big is back. If you have any questions, please direct those to your point of contact for your department or your supervisor. Thanks, and can't wait to see you at the fair.